Hey everyone, it's your girl Kiara and I'm back with another video. On this video, we're going to be talking about the differences between Sisterlocs and Microlocs. Sisterlocs, Microlocs. So if you're thinking about locks, you haven't quite committed to locks, or you're thinking about restarting your lock journey, and you're torn between Microlocs and Sisterlocs, this is the video for you. All right, before we dive into it, just a quick life update before we get into the business, the data. Let's get into some personable news. Personable news, okay? So me and my husband actually did celebrate our 2-year wedding anniversary. Super excited. I'm in a great mood. We had a great time in Santa Barbara. And I was like, oh, Santa Barbara, cool. You know, how is it different than any other beach city in California? But honestly, guys, that just might be my favorite beach city in California, okay? It is beautiful. It is a paradise there. If you haven't gone, go ahead and check it out. Here's some photos of me and my lock boo, my husband, and our locks. Our locks are thriving and vibing in Santa Barbara. It was a beautiful time. I've been a bit MIA, but I'm back now with some more helpful information for those looking to decide whether they want braid locks or Sisterlocs. All right, so let's dive into it. Let's start off with the installation cost. So when it comes to the differences between Microlocs and Sisterlocs, the penny and the dollar is speaking, all right? Now, Microlocs, you can DIY it yourself. I'm an example of that. I didn't want to spend a bunch of money to install my locks, so I went ahead and installed these locks. So you're looking at the installation method of braid locks in the form of Microlocs, okay? We'll dive a little bit more into what that means, okay? Because it's all going to make sense soon. So my installation cost was $0.00. We like to save money on this channel. I don't know, at least me in the video, I like to save money. But yes, Microlocs can be free up to $1,000 depending on your installation method. If you do decide to work with a loctician, I've heard folks say that the average installation cost for Microlocs are about $500. Now, when it comes to Sisterlocs, I've seen locticians charge easily over $1,000, and we'll get into the nitty gritty as to why. Wait, don't stop playing the video because there's a lot of information that goes into that number, okay? All right, so again, Microlocs, Sisterlocs, the difference when it comes to the installation cost. One can be free and the other not so much. Well, wait, can't I just install my Sisterlocs myself? Wouldn't that make it free? That is a great question, and yes, I'm talking to myself. Huh? So I don't know if you guys know this, but Sisterlocs actually is a trademark style. So if you're getting Sisterlocs, you're working with the Sisterlocs certified loctician, and you're gonna be sitting in that chair for a little bit, all right? So that being said, let's segue into the installation time, the duration. How long is it going to take? So for me, I believe it took about 14 to 16 hours. I forget the exact amount of time, but it took some time, and I split that in between 3 days. And again, I did it myself, so it could have been a bit faster with my Microlocs. I do see some folks say it can span between like 8 hours to 18 hours, depending on the method that you choose for installation. So duration, I would say anywhere between 8 to 18 hours for Microlocs. And Sisterlocs can really vary. I would say easily above 12 hours, maybe up to 24 hours. I've seen some folks say that it takes 36 hours. And obviously they're not sitting in a chair for 36 hours. If they are, that is, they're very committed just to getting it over with. But this isn't like carrying your grocery bags in one trip up the stairs, right? This is like sitting in a chair for hours. So if it does take more than, I would say 12 hours for me, I'm gonna have to come back the next day. Anyways, the duration is different between Sisterlocs and Microlocs. Sisterlocs are just going to take a lot longer, and that is because of the quantity in the installation method. So now we're moving into quantity and installation method. Now, the entry level point for Microlocs is 100 locks or more. I have 258 locks as of today. I actually went back since my last video and twisted up some of the loose hair in the back part of my hair because I don't really know what to do with that hair sometimes. So I said, you know what, just become locks. I just braided them up. So now I have 3 more locks than I had from when we last spoke, and I'm loving it. But yeah, I have 258 locks. Now the range for Microlocs can be between 100 to 400 locks. So 400 locks and greater, those are Sisterlocs. if you got it installed by a Sisterloc loctician. All right, so let's dive into the method of installation. Now, Microlocs, you have more variety. You can install your Microlocs using braids. You can install using coils. You can install using twist. Me personally, I wanted to install using braids. So you're looking at a braid lock Microloc baddie, okay? But you don't have to do that. The world is really your oyster when it comes to Microlocs and that initial installation method. Now, when it comes to Sisterloc, it's pretty continuous. The method of Sisterloc installations, you're gonna be using that interlocking method. So when you leave the shop, you're gonna have your locks there right then and there, ready to go, okay? Here's a picture, if you're curious about it aesthetically, of what Sisterlocs look like. On the screen here, you'll see that she easily has over 500 locks, okay? The quantity, again, it does differ between Microlocs and Sisterlocs, and that obviously is the reason why Sisterlocs take a lot longer, okay? Now, what about the overall end look? I personally think that it can be similar. I mean, some folks think that I have Sisterlocs. I don't. All that to say, there are similarities when it comes to the final look. I would say both styles are full, but it really does also depend on your hair density. All right, and last but not least, let's talk about maintenance. What does the maintenance look like? How does it differ? Personally, the timeline of the maintenance is very similar. So about every 6 weeks, you're going to want to touch up your roots. You want your roots looking nice and neat. The retie is every 6 weeks. That's what's recommended. Although I will say for me personally, my hair has coincidentally been growing really fast, really quickly. I am now interlocking every 4 weeks because I like a neat look. What's contributing to this? I really do feel like it's all the green juices I've been drinking. I'm on my health and wellness journey when it comes to my diet. It's always been something I struggle with. I love sweets. I love bread. I love all that stuff. And I'm like, hey, I'm getting older. I want to get serious about my gut health. So I'm prioritizing juicing every day. And it's actually paying off when it comes to my hair growth. So super cool to see that. So overall, what is the style for you? What should you choose, Sisterlocs or Microlocs? I would say that there's 2 factors you want to consider when you're choosing between the 2. Let's say you don't want to do the crochet method for some reason. You want to do the braid lock method like me, right? Or you want to do the twist method, or you want to do the comb coil method, right? You're going to have more than 100 locks, but you kind of want to just have the comb coils for some reason. Well, that's the beauty about Microlocs. You can choose the method of installation. Sisterlocs, you're gonna get that method that you get, right? You're getting the Sisterloc technique, the crochet method. You're working with that loctician. It is a trademark style. So that's something to think about as well. Also, you're going to want to consider cost. Do you want to save money? Do you want to do it yourself? Are you more of a DIY person? So if you're more of a DIY person, you're going to want to consider Microlocs, right? But if you are stretched for time, you don't mind working with the professionals, you want to work with the professionals, you don't want to have that responsibility yourself, you're going to want to work with a Sisterloc loctician, right? When it comes down to what you should choose between Microlocs or Sisterlocs, you have the answers within yourself. Think about what you really want that end look to look like. Like, do you want more of a neat look? Sisterlocs are great. Do you have a certain vision of the installation method? Microlocs are great, right? But overall, they end up kind of almost looking the same. I have Microlocs. People tend to think that they're Sisterlocs, but they're not. And so I thought, hey, let me go ahead and create a video for others that might get the 2 confused or have already done their research and they're considering one or the other, right? All right, so I hope that this video has been helpful. If you're starting your lock journey and you want to share some updates, feel free to comment below. If you know someone that's considering Microlocs or Sisterlocs, feel free to share this video with them. And if you like the information you received today, feel free to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Take care.